You wake up 2 hours late for work. Would you still go? Why not? When I wake up on time I still have this dilemma. Yep, I'm usually punctual and my boss is not a huge pain in the ass. Also, if I don't go, the clients are more of a pain than my boss, and the next day I'd have to overwork myself to catch up on work. That's what people who are chronically late don't realize. If you're punctual 99% of the time, people don't get mad when you're late. They're usually genuinely worried that something went wrong. And if it was just a mistake, they tend to cut you slack because it isn't consistent behavior. I learned that while working a shitty kitchen job. Woke up like a half hour after my shift and just ran to work. Arrived just as service started, but my boss didn't give a shit. He was worried I was dead. Op seems to be 2 hours late but still wants some advice. Oh shit, I'm 2 hours late. Better ask Reddit. For my job, I'd get an official warning if I was 2 hours late. If I didn't show up at all, I'd likely get fired. You don't get sick days. Edit. Some of you guys are crazy. I simply asked the dude if he gets sick days. An official warning for being late seems strict, especially if it's a single or rare occurrence. How some of you jumped from me asking this to being a lazy slacker that is a shit employee is beyond me. At my job, you have given hour advanced call out before a shift that you are late. If you don't, it's discipline. If you are not there for your shift, that's a no-call, no-show. 2 of those and you are fired. Cut and dry. Nurse, if you are wondering. Late equals doghouse. No call, no show equals fired guy. Fire guy becomes the fired guy. Better to show up late than never. Just like periods. Frankly, never is fine with me. Expecting mine in about half a year. Yes, I have flexible work hours, and as long as I fulfill my work duty within the month, I'm okay. I want a job like that. I hate going in 9 to 5 just to sit there doing nothing because I have to work a certain number of hours regardless if there's any work left to do. Not the OC, but I'm hourly. I still need to get 40 if I want my full pay. My boss just gives zero shits if those hours are worked 9 to 5. 6 to 2, or 12 to 8. Trust me, hourly works out in the worker's favor more often than salary. Most places see salary as an excuse to just pile on additional work without increasing staffing. No, flight would be cancelled, and I'd probably be in big trouble. So, are you in airplane? Yep, I'm typing with my landing gear right now. There's this thing in Germany we call Gleitzeit. It lets you come and go whenever you want between 7 o'clock and 2000 as long as you fulfill your daily target time. So you basically have 13 hours time to get your 7 to 8 hours of work done. Edit. Spelling and wow, this blew up lol. That's how my office works. But I'm in the US. We don't get a cool name for it though. Edit. Apparently it's called flex time. I've already had like 50 people telling me that. Say something original. I'd still go in. My job is home-based and salaried though. As long as I work an hour I get credit for a full day. Back when I was bartending, same answer. Being late in the service industry is putting your work onto someone else. Get there so whoever is covering for you can go home, or so everyone's workload becomes more manageable. How do I get a home-based job where I can work an hour? Sheesh, I'll quit my job and work for you, right Mo? Many salaried positions are work an hour. Counts for the day, because you aren't paid to work hours. You're paid to get a job done. If you get the job done quicker, you have more time. If it takes you longer, you work longer. If you only work an hour every day, the job doesn't get done. Your ass gets canned. Where I work is salaried. If you get the job done faster, they will ask you to help out a bit on something else. If you agree, help out. They then assume you always have time for this new task and it's now your responsibility forever. Yeah, it's still your job. And if you work 8-hour days, you'll still have 6 to go. Maybe you can stay late to make up the time? Regardless, oversleeping is a common screw-up. It doesn't mean that you just take the whole day off. You just go in late. You can take a sick day if you still have them. You can't call in sick 2 hours after your shift is meant to start though. At least in my job. You have to call at least an hour before. 24-hour industry. I would call up, apologize and offer to work late. Mistakes happen, and as long as it's not a regular thing, I think my company would be okay with that. This is basically how I do it. 1. I wake up and realize I am 2 hours late. 1. Am I hungover? 1. Yes. Call in sick. 2. No. Go in and bring donuts, biscuits, bagels for everyone to make up for it. 2. Am I sick? 1. Yes. But I don't feel horrible. Work from home. 2. Yes. And I feel like death. Call in sick. 3. No. Go in and bring donuts, biscuits, bagels for everyone to make up for it. 3. Is the late commute going to be abysmal because of traffic incidents? 1. Yes. Work from home. 2. No. Go in and bring donuts, biscuits, bagels for everyone to make up for it. 4. Do I feel stressed from work lately? 1. Yes. Call in sick and take a mental health day. 2. No. Go in and bring donuts, biscuits, bagels for everyone to make up for it. If you're going to be late enough to bring snacks. Nope. My job has a point-based attendance policy. Being late less than 1 hour is half a point. Over an hour is 1 point. Calling off is also 1 point. We can call off up to 3 hours into our shift. After 3 it is considered a no-call no-show, which is worth 3 points. So no, it isn't worth even going to work by their policy. My old job had a policy where if you were late then your pay would start at the next 15-minute interval. You get in 9:03. Pay starts 9:15. I was almost never late. Though one day I got in just before my shift. But due to signing in, I wasn't ready to take calls till 9:03. I asked my manager, who was just sitting down himself, if my pay would be affected, seeing as it was the systems that prevented me signing on. He confirmed my pay started at 9:15, so I took off my headset and got my book out. He wasn't happy, said I should do the job as I am ready. I told him I would start when my pay did. I already used to get stuck on calls after my shift for no extra pay. No way am I doing it before. They also deducted pay for any time in the toilet. Fuck that place. My current job? No, it's fucking hell and it makes me miserable. But in general, yeah, I would go. That's how I feel. I'm treated generally pretty poorly at my work and people generally dislike me for some reason. I called into work a couple days ago to say I was going to be late by half an hour, only to be talked to like a child and told essentially, nope, you're coming in on time and that's that. It feels really weird to tell your work, hey sorry but I am running late, I'll be there in half an hour, and to just hear the words, you're scheduled for this time, ... And that's it. I didn't even know what to say, so I was just like, okay you got it, and hung up. Like look bro, I'm not calling to ask may I please be late. Sir, I am calling to say I'm gonna be late. That really irked me and I ended up just not going in because I was pretty pissed and in that moment thought I should just quit right now. I start school in approximately 2 weeks anyway. What's the point in sticking it out at a place I am miserable at? So I ended up just not showing up, period. Now I'm at a position where I pretty much regret doing that. And now I want to go in on my next scheduled days to at least finish out the week. I at the very least have to go on to get my paycheck. It feels extremely awkward and I'm dying of anxiety over here. Upside down face. I wouldn't rush, however. You're already late. Might as well do things right. Take that shower, have that coffee, and listen to that audiobook on the way like you're supposed to be late. When you get to work, plan your tasks and go to town on them. As you're panicking about a bad situation will not change what has happened. Edit. I have crippling anxiety and I usually strive to get places at least 15 minutes early. But if I'm hours late, it'll be like an overdrive of anxiety to the point that I'd be numb. So the calmness for me really is a manifestation of autopilot setting for a normal human. Also, gracias por la plata, kind stranger. This happens all too often. PPL wake up late, get into a panic, then rush to work like every second counts. It doesn't matter. You're already late, so why rush? All you're doing is causing more stress in an already stressful situation, not to mention creating a dangerous environment for yourself and those around you. Make the call. Sorry, I overslept, I'm on my way. I'll be there soon. No biggie. Your boss may be perturbed but would rather you be safe than sorry. I employ about approximately 200 people across a few businesses. For most of those businesses, a no call, no show is basically the end. It puts you on the express path to termination. For most of those businesses, being 2 hours absent, then calling, then coming in the rest of your shift or regular day isn't even recorded by HR or managers. For most of those businesses, being 2 hours absent, then calling in and taking a PTO day is just recorded as a PTO day. The same as if you scheduled it. Call, apologize to your boss, act professionally, and all will be forgotten within a week or so. Just act the way you'd want to be treated. I'm still in school, so I only work weekends. But yes, they may be angry, but offer to make up the time by maybe working an extra day. It wouldn't make the situation better, but they'd probably appreciate it. As someone who employs people, I can definitively say that I'd much rather you come in late than offer to make it up at a later date. Seriously, think about it. I'm now short a person for that day. My options are to scramble and try to get another employee to cover your shift, or me and the employees need to work extra hard to cover for being a person short. How are your actions fair to your boss and coworkers? People oversleep. It happens. The responsible thing to do is to call as soon as you wake up. Explain the situation and rush in. Edit. Somehow misinterpreted his response. My bad. But for people who wouldn't go in, this is my response. I've done both. The first time I was honest. Called as soon as I woke up. Told my boss I overslept and that I'd be going as soon as possible. Then a few months later, the same happened. It was a Monday morning. Called in sick and sat at my couch for the whole day doing absolutely nothing. It was glorious. It also depends a lot on many different factors. What kind of job it is. How screwed your coworkers could be if you don't show up. If you care about those things. In my case, it doesn't affect them at all. How your company manages these situations. How many strikes you have already, and so on. Bottom line, in my personal opinion, is that mental health is really important, so if you need one day off to recharge your batteries, I'd do it. If you're not going just for the sake of it. Also, still valid, but be aware of the possible repercussions it may develop. Done this but less than 2 hours. Called ahead and said, had a bad nosebleed. It stopped. I am on my way now. Learned this after the nosebleed thing happened for real. Sergog sure does have a lot of nosebleeds. Perhaps we should do a random drug test. My company cares if work is done. I could be late and do the work done, or I can be on time and don't do the same work. In neither case, they don't care. When shit isn't done, then I get an info that things needs to be done. I'd go straight to the doctor, that is. Doctor, I need a formal letter for sick leave, or I think I'm sick, cough cough. I'm in military. I can't be 2 hours late cause NCOs be knocking at your door for just being 5 minutes late, lol. P1, I always show up to work. P2, why? P1, because if I don't, I get fucking arrested. Hyperbole. But yeah, no. As an employer, there is nothing more frustrating than a no-show, no-call. Calling out 2 hours late isn't great either. But better than nothing. If you come in 2 hours late and apologize for oversleeping, I typically have no issue in. Appreciate the honesty. Of course. Hey, why didn't you show up at work this morning? Everything okay? Quote, yeah, sorry, I overslept. I figured those remaining 6 hours weren't worth the effort anymore to still come over. Okay, cool, said no boss. Ever. From all the places I've worked, I noticed that younger bosses are more accepting of coming in late. Whereas older generations have this "if you are on time, you are late" nonsense. Thank you for watching.